Gajananam bhutaganaati sevitam kapita jambu palasara pakshitam Umasutam choka vinasa karanam namami Vigneshwara pada pankajam Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sadashiva Samarambam Sankaracharya Madhyamam Asmat Acharya Paryantam Vande Guru Paramparam Vasudeva Sutam Devam Kamsa Chanuramartanam Devaki Paramanandam Krishnam Pante Jagadgurum. So welcome to SanGita program session number 6. Thank you all for joining today, and as we go further, you're going to be learning a lot more exciting things. So today, let's see what we covered in the last session, number 5. Some of you missed it, and some of you were there. I had sent you the link for the earlier session. But quickly, we covered the verses 136 to 147. And in this chapter, in the last lesson, Arjuna is overcome with emotion, and he says he does not want to destroy his own kith and kin in the battle. And he gives various reasons for it. He explains the importance of family. And he says the destruction of families will lead to degeneration of society. And he feels that it's a great sin to kill just for the sake of royal pleasures. And instead prefers to be killed by the enemies. He's willing to sacrifice his life. And he doesn't want to fight. So saying, he lays down his bow and arrow. And so we conclude the chapter 1 of Bhagavad Gita. What are we going to do today? Let's see that. Our goals for session 6 is, I'd like to give you a quick summary of chapter 1, both the philosophical aspects and the lessons that we learn from the chapter 1. And it will be followed by a quick overview of today's session number 6. We'll start with chapter 2, and we'll study the verses from 1 to 7. So that's a goal for today. And let's start with the summary of chapter 1. As you all know, in the first chapter, Duryodhana introduced the key soldiers. The two armies, the Kauravas and Pandavas, assembled at Kurukshetra. And Arjuna requested Krishna to place his chariot between them so that he might survey his opponents. So on seeing his gurus, his relatives and friends, Arjuna is bewildered, kind of struck. And confusion reigned in his mind. Should he really participate in this terrible carnage? Was it proper to destroy one's own relative for the sake of a kingdom and some pleasures? Arjuna doesn't want to fight. He lays down his arms. So that's what is a summary, but I'm going to give you an explanation of this. To lead our life in a healthy and happy way, we need many things. Some of them are external, like a home, like a car, like furniture, clothes, etc., etc. And some of them are internal. So you have a body, you have also a mind. There are two things, and both have to be in good shape in order to lead a happy and healthy life. Now, we adjust the external factors to suit us. If there is heat, we put air conditioner. If it is cold, we have woolen clothes, we have heating. So we are able to somehow manage it. But the other important factor, which is internal, that is where most people have problems. Now, even if all the external factors are okay, conducive, we still find many people sick mentally, physically, or both. You know, we tend to blame this situation to someone else outside, external. We can blame the weather. We can blame the traffic. We can blame the government. We can blame our husband or wife. So this goes on, that the blaming game of finding someone outside for our own distress. But you look at it in contrast. You often see very happy and healthy adults and children from very poor families, slums in India, you can see, where the external conditions of the environment is no good. So you see a striking difference between people who are well off, who adjust the environment. At the same time, also people who have very tough environment, but leading a very happy and healthy life. I see little children from slums with a beautiful smile on their faces, and they get bitten by mosquitoes, but still they carry on. Now, what is the secret behind this difference, great difference? The secret is really to discover what is really causing the problem. Many people don't know it because it is often a question of investigation within oneself to discover one's own problem. And that's the tricky part. I'll give you a small example. I remember this, that there was a housewife who was complaining of some smell, especially when the husband was nearby, and she was asking him, what smell? There is some smell coming. And finally, she discovered this bad smell was coming from his socks. So he said, you have to change these socks every day. Why do you wear the same thing again and again? And then they went to a movie and the smell continued. So the wife asked, what happened? Are you wearing the same socks? He said, no, I changed. I changed into new socks, but I know you will start doubting me. So I brought the old pair also with me and took it out from his pocket and showed her. So often this is what happens. There is a problem within and we don't know what it is. So in this case, we have to not only discover the problem, but build a strong internal resistance to the harmful impact caused by the problem. This is something related to mind, and mind in turn influences the body. If you cannot change the external factor, most likely you cannot change the weather, the climate, the government. What should you do? you have to change the internal one, and that is you. And how do we do it? The Gita teaches us how to do it. The philosophy of Vedas, it is an essence of all the Vedas, and it teaches us how to really the change in you, how to change yourself. And there are stages. The Sanatana Dharma provides those stages. Dharmartha, Kama, Moksham, we say, 4 stages. Is also in the ashramam, they say, Brahmacharya ashramam, Grihastha ashramam, Vanaprastha ashramam, and Sannyasa ashramam, which is the ultimate. So likewise, the stages in which you should progress. First, know there is a problem. Discover it. And you may not know how to solve it. So you need to surrender to someone who would be able to help you, and that is the Almighty here. And finally, you get what is called the spiritual enlightenment, which is ultimate goal, or moksha, or liberation as it is called. So in the first chapter, Arjuna discovers there is a problem that prevents him from fighting. When he came into fight, he was enthusiastic, very cheerful, and he had no conflict in his mind. But suddenly, the problem came into his mind and it developed. How? Because of what is called raga or attachment, followed by sorrow, which is called shoka, and finally, moha or delusion, it's called. You see in some shops, 2 ladies going in for a particular garment. If both of them come at the same time, one picks it up. The other lady is obviously disappointed. So first there was attachment to the dress, and second, suddenly there is, in the body language, you can see the sadness. Oh, I'm sorry. No? But she said that she couldn't get it, sorrow. So this happens to everybody. You look for something, you can't get it, you get into a sorrow. And many of them go into distress and delusion. This is what happened in case of Arjuna. And once it happens, most people try to reason it out. Oh, after all, that's not a big, like the sour grapes and the fox, you tend to dismiss it. Oh, it's not so important. It is not such a beautiful dress. It is not something which I should have. They try to reason it out, blame something external. Oh, I don't have the money, whatever. Justify. So similarly, Arjuna is trying to justify his giving up the arms by giving various reasons. He's going to change, destroy the family, he's going to do this, he's going to do that. So he's confused, he doesn't know what to do. He gets confused and is unable to solve the problem in his mind, and that is why he seeks somebody and he surrenders. In this chapter, you will see that he surrenders that. And Krishna has been a very patient listener all through the first chapter. He doesn't talk, he keeps listening. A lesson for us that we should listen more than talk. So what are we learning in this chapter 1 is, 1, very important, always expect the unexpected. 2 incidents which happened recently in the course of recent couple of days. 1 was the election in the US. Unexpected thing happened. 2 is the demonetization of 500 and 1,000 rupees notes in India. Nobody expected it. It came like a bolt from the blue. Likewise, Arjuna, who came into fight with all enthusiasm, suddenly changed his mind. So human beings, it can happen to anybody. Never take anyone for granted. Second lesson that you have to discover a problem like Arjuna knows there is a problem. And progress in stages. So here, you learn not only just the philosophy, in addition, we learn the beauty of Sanskrit language. As we go along, I keep explaining to you various words and how beautiful they are. Vyasacharya, great composer, and we learn many things on the language part also. So having said that, and this is a quick summary of chapter 1, and we're going to see Krishna starts talking in chapter 2, and there's a lot more to come in this chapter 2. So let's go, and I want to give you a very quick overview of today's session, number 6. Now, the cameras go back to the studio where Sanjaya and Dhritarashtra. The scene changes from the battlefield to the studios, and Sanjaya is explaining to Dhritarashtra the condition of Arjuna, who was extremely agitated due to the attachment he had with his preceptors and his comrades and his relatives. This is the first time Lord Krishna talks, and he starts with a rebuke. He chides Arjuna for his dejection, which was due to his attachment, and exhorts him to fight. Now Arjuna fails to convince Krishna, and he realizes that he's helpless, he's confused. So ultimately, he surrenders himself completely to the Lord, seeking his guidance to get over the conflict of his mind, how to get over the problem. When you don't know anything, you surrender. And solution does come, as in the case of Arjuna. So, going further, let's go. Dvitiyo adhyayaha Sankhya Yogaha. This is chapter 2, Sankhya Yoga. The very first verse in the second chapter. Sanjaya Uvacha Tam Tata Kripaya Vishtam Ashrupurna Kuletshanam Vishidantamidam Vakyam Uvacha Madhusudanaha. You'll find long words coming in here, which I will split it up for you. There is a sandhi, if you see, Kripya Avishtam Ashru Purna Kuletshanam. Let's go to the explanation slide. Sanjaya Uvacha, Sanjaya said, very simple. Tam, him Arjuna, Tatha, thus, Kripaya. It comes from the word Kripa, compassion or pity. In Hindi also you say Kripa Karo. You have the same word in Tamil also, Kripai. In Marathi also you have Kripa. It's all derived from Sanskrit word Kripa, which means compassion or pity. Avishta, to overcome, overwhelmed. Avishta. Ashru Purna Akulam. Ashu Purna. See, Asu, we say in Hindi, isn't it? Asu is tears. Ashu Purnam. Purnam is filled. Akulam, eyes. Eyes filled with tears. So when somebody is overcome with emotion, you get the tears. God has provided those tear glands, so In case of extreme emotion, both happiness as well as grief, you get tears. So here, Shrupurna Akulam, eyes are filled with tear. Ichanam, Icha is to see. You'll find so many words using this. Meenakshi, Kamachi, Visalakshi. All these are Ichi. But here, Ichi is referring to the eyes. Meenakshi, one who has eyes like a fish. So, Ichanam comes from the root Icha, to see, singular. Vishidantam, to grieve, to feel sorry. Krishna is called here Madhusudanaha. No, over the entire Gita, Krishna has got 27 names, different names. One of them is Madhusudanaha. Madhu plus Sudanaha. Sudana is to kill, and Madhu was an Asuran or a demon, was killed by Krishna, and therefore you acquired the name called Madhusudanaha. In Sanskrit, you will find names reflecting the qualities or achievements. Idam, this. Vakyam uvacha, spoke these words. Very simple. So you find, even though the verse is long, if you break it up, it becomes very simple. So what is the gist of this? Sanjaya said, to whom? To Dhritarashtra. To him who was thus overcome with pity and who was despondent, with eyes full of tears and mind agitated, Krishna, called Madhusudana, the destroyer of Madhu, spoke these words. It's the first time Krishna is speaking. So going further, let's go to the next one. Verse 2. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Kutasva Kashmalamidam Vishame Samupastitam Anaryajushtam Asvargyam Akirtikaram Arjuna. Sri Bhagavan. Sri refers to Lakshmi, who is a consort of Bhagavan. Of course, Sri has got different meanings in Sanskrit. When you say Sri Kantan, it is not Lakshmi. That Sri means a snake. One who wears a snake around his neck is called Sri Kantan. Refers to Shiva. Same time, Sri also means Lakshmi. So you have to see the context. Sri Bhagavan Uvacha Sri Cha Bhagaha Cha Asya. You have to see the words. Sri Cha Bhagaha Cha. What is meant by Bhagaha? Brilliant, one who shines forth. Bhaga has got over 15 different meanings. But the most appropriate meaning is most brilliant. Bhagaha Cha. One who is the most brilliant and who has Lakshmi as his consort, Sri Bhagavan. Sri Cha Bhagaha Cha Asya. Bhagavan Uvacha said. Kutastva. Kutaha. We learned it in easy Sanskrit. Kutaha means where. Wow. From where? Kutastva. From where? Kashmalamidam. This kind of dejection that you have got, the impurity, Kashpalam really means impure. This impurity in your mind, dejection, grief, all are called Kashpalam. Idam, this. Vishame, improper. You know, children sometimes in India, when I was all young, my parents say, don't do any Vashamam. Vashamam is a word, in Tamil also use it. It derived from Vishame in Sanskrit. When you do any kind of mischief, which is improper, that's called Vishame. Improper. Samupastitam. Split into Sama plus Upa plus Ta. To arise. Samupastitam. Anarya Jushtam. There are two words here. Anarya plus Jushtam. Arya means respectable, noble. Those of you who watch these serial Ramayana in the television in India would know the word Aryaputra is used. He's not referring to the Aryans and Dravidians, which is the English word. But Arya really means one who is respected. From Arya becomes Ayya. In Tamil, they say Ayya. In fact, the title Ayyar comes from the word Arya. One who was respected. So, there is no caste called Ayyar in the Shastras. It is derived from Arya, Ayyar, Ayya in Tamil, which is used in many places in South India, even in Sri Lanka. So, opposite of Arya is Anarya. And as you know, in Sanskrit, you put word A, you get the opposite meaning. So, Anarya here is ignoble. Jushtama is disgraceful. Anarya Jushtama, Anarya plus Jushtama, ignoble and disgraceful. Swargayam, Swargam we say, even in Hindi and Marathi also you say Swarga. Swarga is heaven. Aswarga means opposite of Swarga. Is Asargayam. Swargayam is that would close the gates to heaven. That act, what you are doing now, will close the gates to heaven. Akirtikaram. Kirti, you know, is fame. Is in Hindi as well as in Marathi, even in Tamil. Kirti. Opposite, Akirti. Infamous, Akirtikaram. Karam means that which would make one unworthy, infamous. Arjuna, oh Arjuna. You see how simple it is to understand such a complicated looking verse, but when you split it up, it becomes very simple. You know, I remember this word Kashmalam in Chennai. Some of the auto rickshaw drivers used to use the word. If they don't get a good savari, a person who pays well, they will say Kashmalam, Kashmalam. For a long time, I didn't know how they got this word. Only then I learned it is derived from Sanskrit, Kashpalam, which is impure, no good. The savari is no good, so they say Kashmalam. So, translating this verse into the summary, Bhagavan, the Blessed Lord, said, from where is this perilous trait come upon thee? This dejection or grief which is unworthy of you, disgraceful. and which will close the gates of heaven upon thee, O Arjuna. First rebuke, he chides him. I'm not sure if any of you have seen the famous movie called Patton, General Patton. And he was a very good general, but his language was not so very good. So at one of the camps where he visited injured soldiers, one of the soldiers starts crying before him. And Patton is so upset. They really slaps him. He said, how can you cry here? You are come here to fight. You can't cry. The emotion doesn't count here. The battle. Long ago, soon after my graduation, I went to Dehradun for an interview to get a commission in the Air Force. And they announced the results the same day after 5 days of interview. And then they selected me, or 30 people, some 5 people were selected and I was one of them. And they sent me to Delhi for the medical exam. And I went to the military hospital, and it was a time when there was the Indo-Chinese war going on. And I went to the hospital. Oh my God, the scenario was so shocking. People, every day, soldiers, injured soldiers are being brought to the military hospital in Delhi. And I could see how horrible war could be. It doesn't, if somebody starts crying and emotionally weak, army is not for them. So likewise here, Krishna is chiding Arjuna, you are a great warrior. How can you behave like this? Where did you get these improper thoughts of resigning and going away? You could be court-martialed. Very first verse from Bhagavan, it shows that if one has to battle in life, he must have the right temperament. Not only in the battlefield, even in life when you find challenges coming in. There is a philosophy behind it, but it is beautifully explained. The Bhagavan himself is warning him, don't do this. Going further, 3rd verse. Klaibyam masmagamaha partha naitat vayupapayat apadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktavotishta parantapa klaibyam masmagamaha partha naitat tatvat upapadyate shudram hridaya daurbalyam tyaktavotishta parantapa. Klaibyam. Unmanly. Covered is from the root klaibya, impotence. Ma, na. Sma, to happen. Gamaha, to go. Partha, because he happens to be son of Pritha, is called Partha, which refers to Arjuna. Etat, this. Twayi, Yushmat. Pronoun of 2nd person. Upapadyate. Upa plus pad. Does not befit. Chudram, mean. Hridaya daurbalyam. You have to split it. Hridayasya daurbalyam. You know balam is strength. Everybody knows balam. Daurbalyam means weakness. Hridayasya, weakness of the heart. Tat plus tektva plus tvam. That is this. Tektva, teja, discard, abandon. Tvam, you. Uttrishta, get up. But Krishna tells Arjuna, hey, get up now, get up. Don't sit down. Don't be a coward. Yield not to impotence, O Arjuna, son of Pritha. It does not befit you. It is not suitable to you. You are such a great warrior. You can't do that. Cast off this mean weakness of the heart. Stand up. You are supposed to be killing the foes, O scorcher of foes. And he actually cheering him up. He says, don't ever yield to this unmanly behavior. Get up and fight. He almost like a teacher waving a cane at a student. Arjuna, you shouldn't be doing this. Get up. He prods him to get up. Going further, Arjuna responds here in the 4th verse. Arjuna uvacha katam bhishnam aham sanke dronam cha madhusudana ishubhihi pratiyotsyami pujar havarisudana. Fairly simple verse. Arjuna uvacha. Arjuna said this. Katham. How? You learned this in easy Sanskrit classes, sir. How? Katham. Bhishmam maham. It has to be split into Bhishmam plus aham. Bhishmam refers to Bhishma. The grand old sire who is fighting with the Kauravas, Bhishmam, and who was also the great-great-grandfather of Arjuna. Bhishmam aham refers to I. Sanke refers to battle. You heard this word before. Dronam cha and Drona. Bhishma and Drona. Madhusudana. O Madhusudana. Ishubhihi. Ishu is referring to arrows. Ishubhihi with arrow. Pratiyotsyami. Split it up. Prati plus yuddha is to fight against. Pratiyotsyami. Yami refers to Arjuna. First person. Puja ha varisudana. Pujarkaha. Puja is worship. To a very simple word. Arha is deserve or fitting. Arinam. Ari refers to enemy. Sudanaha, to kill. We learned it in the last verse. So Arjuna says, O Madhusudana, how shall I fight in battle with arrows against Bhishma and Drona, who are fit to be worshipped? They are great people. They taught me. Drona taught me warfare, and Bhishma is my grand old father. How can I fight with them on arrows? In fact, they are fit to be worshipped. He's asking a question to Krishna. How shall I do it? Because there is a conflict in his mind because of attachment. Going further, verse number 5. Gurun ahatva hi mahanubhavan Shreyo bhoktum Baicham apika loke Hatvarta kamamsu guru nihaiva Bhunjiya bhogan rutira pratigyan. Gurun hatva. Guru, you know, Gurun, the Gurus. It is not Hatva, but it's actually ahatva. Hatva comes from the root hunt, to kill, to slay. Ahatva, the gurus, plus not slaying. You can say instead of slaying, instead of killing the gurus. So Guru Nahatva means instead of killing the gurus. He indeed, Mahanubhavan, word very common, used in Telugu, used in Tamil, used in Hindi. Mahanubhavan, most noble. Shreyo, we learned this word before also. Shreyo is better. Bhoktum. Bhoktum comes from the root bhuj, to eat. Bhojanam comes from that. Bhojanam is a meal. Bhoktum, bhuja, to eat. Vaichyam apiha. Split up. Vaichyam plus api plus iha. Vaichyam is to get alms. Api. I think there is a similarity between Vaichyam and beg. Both start with B. Vaichyam, api plus iha, alms. Even here in this loke, in this world, Hatvartha kamastu guru nihaiva. Hatva, having killed. Artha kaman. Kaman. Artha kaman. Artha means wealth. Dharmartha kama moksham. You know the four stages mentioned. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Artha kaman refers to wealth and desires. Two, indeed, gurun iha eva. Gurus here also. Bhunjiya, enjoy. Bhogan, the pleasure. Bhogam, we say in many languages in India, bhogam is pleasures. Rudira refers to blood. Pratigdan, pra plus diha. It is stained or smeared. So you have many words here which have been split up, and you can see the meanings very clearly now. To give you the gist of this verse, Arjuna says, it is better indeed in this world to accept alms than to kill the most noble teachers. But if I kill them, even in this world, all my enjoyments which I will get out of the wealth and desires will be stained with that blood. So he feels hurt that if I'm going to kill them and then I'm going to enjoy all the kingdom and the royal pleasures, I'm going to have the guilt feeling it is stained with their blood. So he gives outlet to his emotion to say that he is going to feel guilty if he is going to kill them and use the wealth and desires for his own personal enjoyment. Having said that, let's go further to the next one. Verse 6. Naichedad vidmaha kataranno gariyo yadva jayema yadivano jayeyuhu yaneva hatvana jiji vishamas te avastitaha pramuke datarashtraha. 4 lines in this verse, and I like earlier one, 4 lines. Na, not, chaise dikmaha, cha, and etas this with maha. Vidmaha, with, you know. We have the name Vidya, to know, knowledge. Vidmaha, to know. Maha is we. Vidmaha, we know. Etat, this. Cha, and. Kataranno, katarat, which na for us. Gariyo is better. Yadva, yati, yadi, that, and va, are. Jayema, simple jaya is to conquer, victory. We should conquer. Yadi, in this case is if. Va, are. No, us. Jayeyuhu, they should conquer. Yana, eva, whom, even. Eva is even. Hatva, having killed. No, not. You will find a lot of these, the conjunctions and indeclinables coming, linking together. So you may get a little confused if the individual word meanings are explained. But when you link it up together, you will find the meaning coming out. I'm explaining this each word so that you understand the meanings of the words and how they are composed. But they will not necessarily follow a sequence when you explain the meaning of the word. Okay. Hatva, having killed. Jiji vishamasa. Jiji, jiva. Ji vishamasa. Jivi means to live. Jivitam. We wish to live. Te avasthitaha. Split up. Te, those. Avasthitaha. Avasthitaha again split up. Avaha plus sta. We mentioned about sta earlier. Sta, stapitam, stapanaha. In the Sanskrit class also. To establish, to stand. Ratam stapaya. Remember that? When Arjuna tells Krishna, stapaya, sta, to establish. So here, avasthitaha, avas plus the are standing. Pramukhe, primukhe, facing Dhartarashtraha, referring to the sons of Dhritarashtra. So he says, confused. I can hardly tell which is better. That we should conquer them or they should conquer us. I don't know which is better. Reflecting the confused state of mind of Arjuna, he doesn't know still whether it is better that we fight and conquer them or we allow them to conquer us. This particular verse is fully reflective of the utter confusion in Arjuna's mind, who's unable to make a choice. And he has a real problem. At least he has realized now that there is a problem. Even the sons of Dhritarashtra, after killing them, we do not wish to live. They are standing before us. Those people, the very people, sons of Dhritarashtra, whom after killing we don't want to live, they are facing us. So this shows the seriousness of his problem. And he doesn't know how to solve it. Many of us face such situations. We don't know whether to go this way or that way. Which is better? We don't know. So that is the situation being faced by Arjuna right now. And in the next verse, you see how he is surrendering to Krishna. This is verse number 7. Very long sentence. Karpanya dosho apahata swabhavaha prichami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha achreyaha syan nischitam bruhi tanme sishyaste aham shadimam tvam prapannam. Let's see the explanation to this verse. The very first word is long one. Karpanya dosho apahata swabhavaha. Karpanya. It comes from the root kripana, which is poor. Kripacharya was very poor, so he called kripa. Kripana. Karpanya refers here not to the wealth, but poverty of mind, weak mind, confused mind. So Karpanya is the adjective to the mind here. Doshaha is a fault. Karpanya dosha, the mind stricken with poverty, unable to think, unable to solve a problem. Upahataha is to get afflicted. The mind is afflicted with poverty of thoughts. Swabhavaha is a natural instinct. Prichami. Pricham ami. Pricham is to ask. First person, you say prichami. Aham vadami. Aham gacchami. Like that, prichami. I ask. Tvam, you. Very respectable word. You. Tvam. Dharma. The code of conduct. Sammuda is confused. Chetaha is intellect. We heard this word chetaha even before. Chetaha, intellect. Sammuda. You have the word muda also. Muda means fool. Sammuda is one who is a fool, who is confused. Yat shreyaha syan nischitam. Yat nischitam me shreyaha. That's how it's put it up. Yat nischitam me shreyaha. Nischitam, it's called nischit in Marathi. You say nischayam in Tamil. Nischitam, which is decisive, sure, no doubt about it. It's decisive. Shreyaha is good. Yat is which? Yes, nischitam me shreyaha. Me is me. What is definite and good for me, syat, to become? Bruhi, please say. It's a very famous composition of Sadashiva Brahmendral. It starts with the word Bruhi. Bruhi Mukundeti. Must have heard this. Bruhi Mukundeti. Please chant the name of Mukunda, one of the great saints from South India, Sadashiva Brahmendral. Tanme, that for me. Sishyaste aham. Sishyaha, his disciple. Te, thy. Aham, I. Shadi, instruct, mom, me. Tvam, to you, to thee. Prapannam, taken refuge. So, gist of it is Arjuna is now confessing. After all these thoughts, And after all this confusion, unable to make a decision whether to fight or not to fight, whether to conquer them or allow them to conquer us, he tells Krishna, "Oh Krishna, my heart is now overpowered by the taint of pity. My mind is confused as to what I should do. My mind is confused as to what is my dharma, as to what is my code of conduct. At this situation, in the battlefield, what should be my code of conduct? I don't know. I ask thee, please tell me definitely, decisively, what is good for me." And he surrenders, "I am thy disciple. Please instruct me. I have taken refuge in thee." Total surrender. After talking for one chapter completely, giving reasons why he does not want to fight and laying down the arms, ultimately, Arjuna surrenders before Krishna, saying that my heart is confused, I am overpowered by pity. My mind is confused as to what should be my dharma, my code of conduct. I am asking you, my Lord, tell me decisively what is good for me. I am your disciple. I am your Sishya. Please instruct me, because I have taken refuge in you. So this is called the Charanagati, the ultimate. When you don't know, in life, we do come across many challenges. Sometimes we can take logical decisions. Sometimes you are at the crossroads and you don't know which way to go because there is no signboard. So whom do you ask? You ask somebody who knows everything. And that in this case happens to be the blessed Lord, the Almighty. And you appeal to him, "Oh my Lord, I have taken refuge in you. Please tell me what I should do. What is right for me, what is good for me." And the Lord always responds. In my experience, and I'm sure it is the experience of many people, that when you surrender at the crossroads, you always get a good answer. May not be pleasant to you because you are seeking something different, but it turns out eventually that it is good for you. So with that, we conclude today's SanGita session number 6. And we will meet again next Saturday, same time. And we will proceed with the chapter 2 from verse number 8. That I wish you all a very, very happy weekend and enjoy yourself until we meet again. Om Sri Haraye Namaha, Sri Haraye Namaha, Sri Haraye Namaha. I'm going to unmute you now. If anyone... Yeah, I can raise your hand if anyone wants to have any comment.
Namaskaram, Jayakumar and Nirmala here. We joined a little late. We thought it was 1 hour earlier, but we made it back in time. So.
Well,